everybody. This is Melinda with raw-wisdom.com, and today is the 47th day of the Juice Feast. I'm over the middle point, so I'm more than halfway done. Tonight I'm going to show you how to prepare sprouts that grow in soil. Now the other day we soaked the sunflower seeds and the buckwheat, and by now they're already starting to get little sprouts on them, so they're ready to go. The other thing we did was we put some perlite in water here. I'm drinking juice, by the way. This is grapefruit juice, and then I have peppermint tea with a little bit of green juice. Excuse me. Alright, now I'm going to show you how I'm going to mix the perlite with some soil. What I have here is just some plain soil. And then I'm going to take a little perlite and just mix it in there. You can do this in the container too. So I'm just going to stir it, and I'm going to get about maybe an inch of soil mix. You don't really need much more than an inch. Now the reason why I use the perlite is just to keep the soil a little bit more moist, because that retains the water, and I've soaked it overnight. So that helps too. They swell up, and this will be able to hold a little bit more water than if it was just the soil. And this is peat moss. It's organic. Okay. Now you see, you can tell it's pretty well mixed because the perlite is just, scattered in it. So that's one. Let's put it over here. Now Ann Wigmore taught people how to make this because she felt that it was important that you be able to grow it in your apartment, even if you lived in a city. That way you could always have fresh, live food. Now some people call raw food living food, but there really is a distinction between living food and just plain raw food. Like, you can pick an apple and that's raw food, but it's not a live food. Sprouts are a live food because they're alive. They're still growing. So there is a distinction between live food and raw food. If you imagine you're translating the cells of your body, you would like to, and say you're ill, and even if you aren't ill, you'd want to get the most living food to translate into the live food, into the live cells of your body. And that's exactly what Ann Wigmore taught. She taught to eat lots and lots and lots of sprouts. Now, at the Hippocrates Health Institute, they eat a lot of sprouts. At Gabriel Cousins' community there, in his clinic also, they eat a lot of sprouts. But Max Gerson, he wasn't enthusiastic about sprouts. So if you go to the Gerson Clinic in California or in Mexico, they're not going to feed you sprouts. Not like this. So you'll have to decide for yourself if the sprouts work for you. Now another thing that Ann Wigmore taught to eat or to drink was something called Rejuvelac. And I learned, let's say, when I was at the Hippocrates Health Institute, they don't use Rejuvelac anymore. They found that it got contaminated too easily. But at Brenda Cobb's program, they do use Rejuvelac. And if you go to her 10-day program, which I did go to, you'll learn how to make it. You'll learn how to make like cultured food, which is living food. It's like sauerkraut and things of that sort, but they don't make it with regular salt. They use seaweed. So maybe one of these days I'll show you how to make that. In the meantime, I'm going to finish up real quickly here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sprouts, and I'm going to do this for both of them, but I'll just show you right now. Take the sprouts and I just spread them over, all over the tray. And I have a cup of sprouts here. Alright. I'm going to spread it with my hands to make it nice and even. Now I rinsed the sprouts so they're nice and wet, but I don't have any water here, but I may water it a little bit. But I'm going to take a towel, and I got one here. It can be any size, just enough that it covers it. I'm just going to cover the tray. Let me show you. The tray looks like this with the sprouts in there. And then I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to put it on top of my dehydrator, because that's the warmest spot in my house. And every day I'm going to go and I'm going to water it a little bit. And in a couple days we'll see what it looks like. So, I'm going to do the same thing with the